What's up guys, this is Gamertay here, and today I am gonna do a deck review on this new set, the N0, the newest deck on Time Dragon. Let's get started. Are you guys excited about this new deck? Because this deck supports on the new deck, which has 4 different flags, which is very insane. Start. In this set also they give you, I think, 2 promos, which is pretty good. In this set we have this promo, Mediator of Prosperity and Valentine React Empress. The skill is you may drop this hand card. If you do, for this turn, the next time opponent will look at the entire deck, the opponent look at the top 4 cards of your deck instead. So this card prevents opponent from looking at your other cards. They are allowed to look only at top 4. Let's look at the other promo. Okay, we have Gao and Tasuku, the new card, Body Fighters Without Limits. Not bad. Can use this card in all flags. When this card is dropped by opponent's card effects, draw 2 cards, and for this turn your hand card cannot be dropped by opponent card effect. Counter and choose one of the following 2. You gain 3 life. For this turn, a monster on your opponent's field gets -2 crit. So this is a very good counter, especially if your opponent has high crit. You can the best option is usually for the -2 crit to prevent your opponent from dealing you more damage. Okay, so let's move on to the deck. I'll pick that up later. We have the body, 4 copies of Aaron winning deity Time Ruler Dragon. Pay 2 gauge and put top 2 cards of deck into soul, and at the start of turn put cards from drop zone into this card soul. Put until 2 cards in this soul. When this card attack, nullify all abilities of a card on opponent field and put into bottom of opponent deck. Very strong, especially if your opponent has Destroyer on field. You call this card and shuts down Destroyer instantly, especially Destroyer the end. So you nullify its Soul Guard, then you bounce it back to its deck, which pretty much means there's nothing already. That means you instantly win the game. So this is a very strong card. The next is, let's see, we have is 2 copies of this card, 2 copies of Time General, the books. They have 1 double rare printing version and 1 normal. You may drop this card from your hand. If you do, you gain 3 life. Choose a card on the opponent field. If you choose a card on the opponent field, you may destroy a monster on your field and put this card from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck. If you do, destroy a chosen card. So it's pretty strong, especially playing against Pang, and it has also 4 crit, which is very strong. And especially the new impact now, when Gao skill the new impact that during your turn, if you have 5 life or less, and if your flag has reversal and time stop, he deal you 5 damage. Before that, you drop this card and you gain 3 life, so it's pretty strong. Counter to that card. Very good card. The next we have is, let's see, we have 3 copies. Is it 3? Yeah, 3 copies. 3 copies of this card. Time General Serpenti. Pay 1 gauge and put top card of deck into it. So if a draw card is on your field, this card is reduced by 3. When this card attacks, if your flag have reversal 2 times or more during this fight, put a monster from your opponent field on the bottom of their deck. So this is something like your buddy, which also triggers off. Mostly if you want, the best setup is your buddy is stronger than that card, because you need to reverse 2 times in order to activate its skill. But for the buddy instead is, if this card attack only without reversal, you can already use its effect. So this is also second main card for you to bounce your opponent's card into their deck. So pretty strong. Next card we have is, here's that. Three copies of Time Soldier Lucia. Pay 1 gauge. Act. This card, if this card is in your drop zone, you may call this card from drop zone by paying its call cost. Shadow Dive. This card can attack even though if there is a monster on the center. This card gets plus 3 crit if your flag reverse 2 or more times. So this is a 5 crit if you have reverse 2 or more times. It's a guaranteed show, unless if your opponent FTK you. So pretty strong card, and it also has Shadow Dive. So if your opponent is playing center base deck, you can just call this to so if it's your turn, you call this and you have like a size 1, you can attack through center. If you reverse 2 or more times, you deal them 5 damage, which is pretty deadly. So pretty strong card. Got 3 copies of those. And let's move on to the next card. We have, okay, let me start first. We have 3 copies of Time Observer Piccola. Sorry if I can't pronounce the name correctly. Pay 1 gauge and put top 2 cards of deck into soul. If a dragon is on your field, this card size is reduced by 2. When this card is destroyed, if your flag reversal 2 times or more during this fight, return up to 1 monster on opponent field into your hand. Again, another another card that sends back to your opponent deck, but also you need to reverse 2 times. So I think this card is supposed to be going with your buddy. So it's like you got this card and this card on your field. So it's a combo. This card, and your buddy will send 3 cards with up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe a 5th one. So send back 5 times. Pretty much you wipe out your whole opponent's field. So it's very strong if you have these 3 combos on your field in the first turn. So it's a must play. I will not replace that card if I was playing Time Dragon. So pretty strong. 3 copies of those. Let's move on to the next. We have 2 copies. One double rare version, Time Observer Tacho. I don't know how to pronounce it, but okay. Counter: if an originally size 3 or greater monster is on your field, choose a monster on your opponent's field and you may drop this card from hand and pay 1 gauge. If you do, for this turn, notify all abilities of the chosen card. Then if your flag reversal 2 or more times, draw a card. So this is a pretty good counter for Vanity. If Vanity or during your turn, like if you notify their soul guard, they just instantly drop all souls and at the same time you win the game. So it's very strong against Vanity DN. And also this card is also good for a dropout, so it's a must play. Let's move on. Got 2 copies of Time Soldier Spliga. You may only call Time Dragon Spliga once per turn. When this card enters the field, look at top 3 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand, then drop the rest. If your flag reversal 2 or more times during this fight, put out the rest into gauge. So it's like a Butt Sack Sling if you reversal 2 or more times. So pretty okay. It's not that bad. Or it's like a Devil Barret. So Time Dragon is pretty strong now. It might be even better than Conan, the Dark Organization. Okay, let's move on. The next we have is 2 copies of Time Guardian Malo. You may only call this card once per turn. When this card enters field, you draw 2 cards, then put 2 of your hand cards on top of your deck in any order. So it's like pretty much just looking at top 2. So you draw 2 and charge 2 on top. So you can activate your draw power cards and you can just draw into the cards that you just put on top just now. So pretty strong. Let's move on. We have 4 copies of Time Soldier G-Bello. G-Bello skill: when this card enters the field, put top card of deck into gauge. For each time your flag has reversal during this fight, this card plus gets penetrate if your flag reversal during this fight. So is a gauge adder. So if you reversal 4 times, you can call this card, charge 4 gauge, and also get penetrate. So pretty good, because this deck requires you to use quite a few gauge. Okay, let's move on. We have 3 copies of Time Scout Ball. When this card enters field, put top card of deck into your gauge. Then if your flag reversal 2 or more during this fight, draw a card. So it's a draw power card. Okay. I just noticed that this deck is more on charging and drawing. pretty balanced deck. Next we have 3 copies of Time Scout Gary, and this, when an originally size 3 Time Dragon would leave your field, you may put this card from field to drop zone. If you do that, card remains on field. When a card on your opponent field is returned to a hand or deck by opponent effect, you may call this card from drop zone. I think you should actually put this as a counter, because when a originally size 3 dragon will leave your field, you may put this card from field into drop zone. I think this should be a counter ability, because this would have just been quite broken. So imagine if your buddy like having 2 souls, so it's 2. You can just, if this was on the field, right? So if your buddy has no more souls, you can activate skill. If it was counter, you can sack this, and this card will stay on the field. So it's pretty strong if it was only a counter. So this card will only work during your turn. Pretty sad it's not a counter ability, but it still works, I guess. So we have 3 copies of those, and let's move on to the spells. We have 2 copies of this Chronos Trophy. You may only cast this card if a Time Dragon is on your field. Pay 1 life, choose and use one of the following 2. Put a card from opponent field on the bottom of their deck. Return all souls of a card on your opponent field to their deck and shuffle it. Pretty strong. So this deck is mainly on returning opponent's card to bottom of deck. Pretty good. Now we have 2 copies of Chronos Vented Rush. Pay 1 life, draw a card, then if your flag reversal 2 times or more during this fight, draw a card. So this card goes well with which card? Let me search it. With this card. So you draw 2 and you chuck back to top of your deck, then you cast this, you draw 2 cards. So it's a draw 4 cards. Pretty good card. So it's a guarantee sure that you will get back your cards that you just put in your deck. The next card we play is 3 copies of Chronos Sin Emptier. Put top card of deck into your gauge. Put up to 1 card with both Dragon and Time Dragon from your deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. You may only cast Chronos Sim Emptier once per turn. So it's a charge and a searcher for your buddy. Pretty good, because it's very hard for you to find your buddy in just 1 turn. If you can't draw into it, you must search. Next card we have is 3 copies of Chronos Nihabi. I don't know how to pronounce it, but drop a hand card and pay 1 gauge. Put up to 1 Time Dragon monster of different size from drop zone into your hand. For each time your flag reversal during this fight, you may only cast Chronos Nihabi once per turn. So if you reversal 4, you can chuck back 4 monsters from your drop into your hand. Pretty strong. So you can get back your body when it's destroyed. Next we have is 3 copies of Chronos Period. Drop a soul from monster on your field and pay 1 gauge. Choose a card on your opponent field. For each time your flags reversal during this fight, and rest the chosen cards. Then for this turn, the card cannot stand. very strong. So if you reversal 4, you rest all 4 of your opponent's card on your field, your opponent's field, and they cannot stand, which is very strong. The only way they can stand is by opponent's card effect or spell that can stand again, like overturn. So very strong. Let's move on to the next. We have 4 copies of Chronos Emnia. You may only cast this card during an attack phase on your opponent's turn if there is a time dragon on your field. Modify the attack, then you gain 1 life for each time your flag has reversal during this fight. So if you reversal 1 time, you gain 1. If you reversal 2, you gain 2. So it's basically gain equal life to how many times you reversal. The more you reverse, the more life you gain. Very nice. And last but not least, we have the impact. We have 2 copies of Chronos Defeat. You may only cast this card if your opponent's life is 4 or less. Your flag reversal 2 times or more during this fight, and a card with both Dragon and Time Dragon is on your field. Deal 4 damage to your opponent. This card cannot be nullified and its damage cannot be reused. So very strong card, and I think it's a must play if you do not have the other impact. And of course we have the body rare body, and we also have the flag. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty insane that Body Fight created the flag that has 4 different abilities, and when you reversal, it's like a different artwork. Very crazy. And this is like the first time that they did something so insane and such a beautiful artwork. Okay, and that's all for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoy my deck review, and hope you subscribe, and see you on the next video. Bye.